On January 3rd, 2026, the US military used an AI to help capture a dictator. That AI was Claude. But 3 months later, the US government banned it. Not a foreign AI, not a rogue model, the one they literally just used in a military raid. And the reason they banned it, Claude refused to do something. Something the Pentagon really wanted. Think about what it takes to remove a man from power. Not vote him out, not negotiate, remove him physically from his own country. You need months of intelligence. You need to know where he sleeps, where he moves, who he trusts, which roads he takes, which guards look the other way. You need to know everything. And you need to know everything faster than he can change it. On January 3rd, 2026, the United States did exactly that. Delta Force landed in Caracas, 150 aircraft overhead. Nicolás Maduro, president of Venezuela, was taken out of his own home in handcuffs. His wife beside him. Gone within the next hour. Textbooks will study that headline for decades. But here's the part that didn't really make to the headline. One of the tools that US military used that night wasn't built in a weapons lab. It wasn't a classified hardware or a billion-dollar defense system. It was the same AI that helped people write cover letters, Claude, right there. In one of the most sensitive military operations in modern history. And nobody, not Anthropic, not Pentagon, not White House, said a word about it publicly. Ask yourself, why? When you sign a deal with US military, there's an expectation. You build the thing, they use it. You don't ask too many questions about how are they going to use it. Most companies in Silicon Valley understood that assignment. Anthropic understood it differently. When the Pentagon began pushing the Claude's role beyond intelligence, beyond analysis, Anthropic drew a hard line in their usage policy. No autonomous lethal weapons, meaning no AI can take a human life without a human being present or without a human order. No mass surveillance of American citizens, meaning Claude wouldn't be turned into a domestic monitoring tool. And these weren't vague ethical preferences buried in terms of conditions. Anthropic had made them public commitments, part of the company's core usage policy since its founding. Dario Amodei has spoken about this publicly for years, about these limits, calling autonomous weapons and mass surveillance illegitimate uses of AI, prone to abuse, incompatible with what Anthropic was building. The Pentagon wanted more. Anthropic said no. And when a company says no to the US Department of Defense, there are consequences. There's a designation that US Department reserves for its most serious security threats. Foreign adversaries, compromised supply chains, companies that pose direct risk to the US military. It's called the supply chain risk designation. In the history of United States government, this has never been used against an American company until March 2026. That morning, the Trump administration officially designated Anthropic, a San Francisco-owned public AI startup, a national security risk. Not Huawei, not Chinese-owned state enterprise, not a foreign actor caught stealing the information. A company founded in San Francisco by Americans to make AI safer, blacklisted by their own government. And overnight, every defense contractor in the US government had to verify they weren't using Claude in any Pentagon-related work. Any of them. Hundreds of millions in contracts cancelled. The same tech that helped capture Maduro was now being purged from the military system. Anthropic's lawyer stood in the federal court and said something that had never been said before. This is something that has never been done with respect to an American company. The question nobody wanted to answer in Washington was very simple. If Claude is such a threat, Why did he use it 2 months ago to catch a dictator? Anthropic didn't go quiet. 9 days after the designation, they filed 2 federal lawsuits against the Trump administration simultaneously, one in California and one in Washington, D.C. The argument was straightforward. The Pentagon didn't blacklist Anthropic because Claude was dangerous. They blacklisted because Claude had rules. And those very rules got in the way of what Pentagon actually wanted to do. That is not a national security threat. That is retaliation. Anthropic's legal team argued that this designation violated the Anthropic's First Amendment rights. The US government was punishing a company for its publicly stated values, for saying AI shouldn't autonomously decide to kill people, and for meaning it. A federal judge in San Francisco was sympathetic. She did grant Anthropic a preliminary injunction, meaning temporarily blocking the ban, and questioned Pentagon properly. Did it actually violate the law or not? But the appeals court in Washington saw it differently. They sided with Pentagon. I don't know why, but they did, leaving defense contractor conflicted between two court orders now. One saying keep using Claude and the other is saying don't, stop. And as of right now, unresolved. No verdict yet. Claude being removed from the defense system while the lawsuits goes on or it's going on. The ban is real. The outcome hasn't been decided yet. And within hours of Anthropic being blacklisted, Sam Altman, within hours, not days, not weeks, he said on X, "Tonight we reached an agreement with the Department of War to deploy our models in their classified network." Hours. Anthropic's ink wasn't even dry yet in their lawsuits filing. The Pentagon started actually evaluating OpenAI and Google for replacement of Claude, running competing models through the exact workflows that previously relied on it. Eventually, the Pentagon finalized AI agreements with these 8 companies: OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, SpaceX, Oracle, and a startup called Reflection AI. Anthropic permanently excluded. Permanently. The gap that Anthropic left by having a conscience, someone else filled it effortlessly. But here's what nobody saw coming. Before all of this, all drama, Claude was at number 42 in the App Store. Within days of blacklisting going public, it hit number 1. Daily signups quadrupled, and it saw 60% of more free users than the start of the year. The US military banned Claude, but the public made it number 1. Think about just what happened here. A company built an AI, gave it rules, right? And said these rules aren't negotiable for anyone, any money, not even for the one of the most powerful military on earth. So the military said, okay, fine, whatever. We will find someone who does it. And they did, easily, within hours. So, Anthropic lost. By every conventional measure, the contracts, the classified access, the government relationships, the millions of dollars, all lost. And yet, the moment public found out what Claude from Anthropic refused to do and OpenAI, ChatGPT filled the gap, something shifted. People deleted ChatGPT and downloaded Claude, told their friends, posted on Reddit how to use Claude, how to transfer everything, and all. Not because Claude is better. Claude is better, but yeah, let's put that aside. And definitely not because of a feature update or a marketing campaign. Nothing was done, really nothing changed. But because of a principle. Because somewhere in a boardroom, the CEOs saw the government requirements and said no to it. And here's what that tells you about where we are actually. We are at the moment in history where AI is being handed to militaries, government, and intelligence agencies, and all, you name it. where the rules about how it's being used are written right now. In courtrooms, in classified briefings, in deals announced on X on midnight. And the companies making those decisions aren't governments. Because they are private companies, most of them. They are not elected. They answer to investor, not voters. Which means the only possible thing that's standing between AI and its worst possible uses is whether the people building it actually believe what they say they believe. Anthropic believed it enough to lose a war over it. They did. Kudos to Anthropic. And somehow, in losing, they won something the Pentagon can never take back. The public decided whose side they're actually on. The question is, do you know whose side you're on? Alright, that's it for the video. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. And hit the like if you enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm not just trying to make any content here. I'm trying to make something that is genuinely worth watching, that is genuinely worth your time. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.